Considering the legendary status he would eventually earn, it's funny to think that Oliver Stone's first real attempt at directing a movie turned into a small-budget Canadian horror flick. Basically, the story is that a writer named Edmund is haunted by nightmares while writing a new novel. When he organizes a get-together with some friends, they're all taken hostage by three mysterious figures that Edmund feels like he's seen before. The figures taunt their captives and force them to take part in competitions to see who will die next. Edmund is played by Jonathan Frid, who had come off of his success with the Dark Shadows franchise and would follow up Seizure by returning almost entirely to theater. And there's also Hervé Villechaize from Fantasy Island playing one of the three figures. It's safe to say that these two are the biggest names in the film. It's also interesting to note that the first words of Oliver Stone's first movie is the word "daddy." The role of Edmund is at first that of a man struggling to protect his wife and child from the three specters, but he's also revealed to be a very flawed man, with delusions almost driving him mad. While at first glance you could say that this is nothing like any Oliver Stone film that followed it, it actually shares a lot of subtext with the more prominent films in Stone's oeuvre. The conflict of man versus self, coupled with the role of a father figure, comes up many times in films such as Platoon, Wall Street, Alexander, and that's to name a few. Unfortunately, this movie really does belong to the low-budget 70s horror genre from whence it came. It's silly, over the top, and really feels like someone's first attempt at style over substance. Probably because it is. The film goes for excessive symbolism and keeps dangling the question of the supernatural versus reality in our faces without ever really solving the issue completely. The three villains in the film are strange and unique characters, but we're constantly wondering whether they're supposed to be supernatural or just escaped lunatics from prison. The movie feels content to just hand us these scrambled events and then let us decide what the ending means. Now, ambiguous endings can work very well, but this one feels way too clumsy to be taken seriously. But all that aside, there's some interesting stuff with this first film by Stone. There are a number of ideas presented in the film that at least try to provoke thought. I liked the character of Edmund, and I'm surprised that this was the last film that Jonathan Frid has yet made. I also liked the smooth-talking businessman, Charlie, who represents the corrupting effects of money. While the point is bludgeoned in our faces over and over with this character, I thought the actor did a decent job with what he had to work with. Like I said before, the three villains are interesting, especially Martine Beswick, who plays the Queen of Evil. I personally thought she did an exceptionally good job being both threatening and seductive at the same time. All in all, Seizure is a weird little film that I wouldn't really recommend unless you want to see where Oliver Stone got his start. Other than that, it's just another one of those crazy little films that great directors make while starting out and then learn from said film's flaws. In Stone's case, he thankfully did improve, which makes my job of reviewing the rest of his films a lot more fun.